Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings. And well, as far as today's Cricket Happenings show is concerned, it is going to be the preview of the Pakistan Australia Test Series, which is going to kick off with a day night test at the Gabba Cricket Ground in Brisbane. And it is going to be the first ever day night test matches which has been played between these two teams, which is Pakistan and Australia. And both the teams, let me tell you, have experience of playing day night tests. Australia have played it against New Zealand, Pakistan played it against the West Indies, and so they definitely have the experience of playing day night test cricket, and also it was played with a pink ball, so they definitely know what to expect. But at Gabba and Brisbane is going to be seeing the first ever day-night test match in Australia, and people are really excited to see what happens, because Gabba and Brisbane is considered somewhat a sort of a very strong ground for the Aussies, because Aussies have always been very strong at the Gabba in Brisbane, and when is sure the Quicks are going to be into real business here at the Gabba in Brisbane, as history says. And also, the thing that one has to note in this test series between Pakistan and Australia is that Pakistan have never beaten Australia in a test series. I mean, they have definitely won 4 matches in Australia, but probably you can count it by the hand. But Pakistan have never beaten Australia in test series. In fact, no Asian country has gone on to beat Australia and Australia. Now, that is something which is something that Pakistan would be hoping that they would do it. But I can for a fact say that this Aussie outfit is even though they suffered some reverses against South Africa, Aussies in their own homeland are a very difficult customers, no doubt about that. And the only reason that people are still talking about whether Pakistan would be getting some real lift out of the series. The reason being, it is all pacey and bouncy pitches in Australia, and it would really suit their pace bowlers, Mohammad Amir, Wahab Riaz, and also Sohail Khan, I reckon. So all those players who are there, they are all good pace bowlers, especially Mohammad Amir and Wahab Riaz in particular. And one is hoping that they would get a lot of purchase out of the Australian pitches, where pace and bounce will be something that will help them, aided by the movement that both these bowlers get at times. So looking at it, it looks to be a real cracker of a contest coming up, and as I'm talking to you, probably we are 1 hour and 35 minutes away from the match getting underway at the Gabba in Brisbane between Pakistan and Australia, which is going to be a day-night test, which is going to be played with a Kookaburra pink ball. Well, so let's have a look at the teams and see what would be in store for both the teams as far as this particular test series would be concerned. So let's have a look at Australia first, being the home favorites, I would say. So Australia definitely, as we know, they made some large-scale changes in the final test against Australia, and definitely it really proved very valuable for them, as the debutants did a good job, especially Matt Renshaw, who would be opening with David Warner. Now, David Warner is in some fine nick, so that is good news. He did very well against New Zealand, as you would remember. Matt Renshaw has also showed that he has the ability and the staying power. Now, one thing that Matt Renshaw, in my opinion, would be a bit tested, I thought, by Mohammad Amir, because coupled with the pace and the moment, it will be interesting to see how Matt Renshaw goes. But Matt Renshaw definitely has shown that he belongs to that class, because he is the one who can buckle himself down. He can probably play there, stick there for the whole day. So Matt Renshaw is someone one can say is a very solid opener. At the other end, we have the very ebullient David Warner, and one knows what an experienced bloke David Warner is. Usman Khwaja is slotted in next. Now, Usman Khwaja, as you would remember, he's a Pakistan-born cricketer. So basically, He was in Pakistan, and Usman Khwaja definitely, his parents are from Pakistan. So Usman Khwaja will have a sort of a real sort of a very big moment for him too, because he hails from Pakistan. So definitely, even though now, as Usman Khwaja very rightly said, that whole family has settled in Australia. They've been living in Sydney, and Usman Khwaja would be having a go at the Pakistan. And also Usman Khwaja, we saw in the tour of New Zealand, he did pretty well too. So Stephen Smith is the captain. Stephen Smith is another one who would be the key. The key would be Stephen Smith and David Warner, with all their experience that they have. And Stephen Smith as a captain has led his team wonderfully well. And after the reverses that they suffered, they actually defeated South Africa in the final test match with all those large-scale changes. And then they went on to even put it, it was a Chappell Hadley Trophy series, but nevertheless, we saw that the Aussie batsmen were in good nick. So Stephen Smith is another one who is going to be sort of a thorn for Pakistan. So to me, Stephen Smith and David Warner would be the big wickets that Pakistan would be needing very quickly. Peter Handscomb, he showed in that solitary match that he played on his debut that he is another one who is also a good talent. In his very first match, he notched up a maiden 50 against South Africa, and that really says that this bloke is quite good. Nick Maddinson. Now, Nick Maddinson is someone who really missed that opportunity, a golden opportunity here, and he collected a blob, and it didn't matter in the second innings because Australia had already won. But Nick Maddinson, one can say, is a sort of he has a sort of an aggressive streak to his game, no doubt about it. But I think he's another one who would be longing to get some runs here against Pakistan to really prove that that was just a flash in the pan, where he actually didn't do. It was out for a duck. Now Matthew Wade is a very, very improved batsman. Not only is not an improved batsman, he's also an improved wicket keeper. So the glove work is very important for a keeper, and that Matthew Wade has been performing it very, very admirably. He has made some changes. He has really, really improved himself. He has worked on it, and it has really proved very beneficial for him. The bowling is the one which would be really, really keenly looked at, especially in Gabba and Brisbane, where the ball is really going to be flying, in the sense there's going to be real, genuine pace. As you know, after the Wacker ground in Perth, Gabba Brisbane is one where the pace bowlers can really hold sway. And Mitchell Starc would be partnered with Josh Hazlewood, but Mitchell Starc is coming on very well. We saw how he bowled against New Zealand, and he's always very adept at actually providing the breakthroughs, and which is very, very important in Test cricket. So Mitchell Starc is the one who would be really going full tilt at the Aussie or the Pakistani opener Sami Aslam and Azhar Ali. Josh Hazlewood is another one who has really shown that his wicket-to-wicket type of bowling and a bit of that away movement that he generates would really put the batsman in a tight spot. And then they have Jackson Bird, is also another wicket-to-wicket bowler. So he's also one who has been doing well in the Australian domestic season. And then they have the Radha Mospin, Nathan Lyon to really, really turn it on. Now, as far as the Pakistan are concerned, if you look at the Pakistan team, they are captained by the very, very efficient Pakistani captain Misbah-ul Haq. After Imran Khan as the captain, I think Misbah-ul Haq has been holding the reins of a captain for quite a long time, and also he happens to be a successful captain. Now, for Pakistan, the opening combination would be Sami Aslam. Now, Sami Aslam is definitely making his first entry into Australia, and one has seen that Sami Aslam is someone who has a very good technique, and he also has the staying power. So if you look at both the Australia and Pakistan teams, one thing similar to me is that Matt Renshaw, the opener of Australia, who is just one test old, but Sami Aslam has definitely got runs under his belt, and Sami Aslam would be the one who would be actually trying to wear off the new ball. And also the opening combination for me for Pakistan is looking pretty solid, because Sami Aslam and Azhar Ali, as you know, is also another experienced player, and Azhar Ali is also the one who can really stick to the crease, and Azhar Ali can also be termed as a very, very solid opener with the technique that he has. So they have two technically proficient players on the top, but Sami Aslam to me would be probably tested by the bouncer, as we saw against the West Indies. Babar Azam, another very, very wonderful talent for Pakistan, no doubt about it. He has a very good eye, and really has all the time. He has a lot of time to actually play the ball. He plays the ball late, and it would be very interesting to see how he goes against the Aussies. And then they have the pillars of the Pakistan cricket team. Now, Misbah-ul Haq is one who still is doing very well, no doubt about it. I mean, he's the one who's always there for Pakistan when the chips are down. But what about Yunus Khan? Now, Yunus Khan really had a real struggle in the previous series, as you know. So now that is something that one has to really keenly look at against New Zealand. He really struggled. And Yunus Khan tends to jump at the crease a bit. Now, Yunus Khan is someone who is a wonderful player, no doubt about it. But one is probably also getting a sort of a feeling whether Yunus Khan is just getting over the hill now. But I think this particular series would really say whether Yunus Khan would be one who can actually continue. Yes, he's a wonderful player, but if he gets runs, definitely one knows that Yunus Khan is there. But I think this series is going to be very crucial for Yunus Khan, because one has to see whether his reflexes have waned, what is the problem, because when the Aussie bowlers, who are good quality pace bowlers, would be hurling the ball at him. But well, his experience is always the big key there. Asad Shafiq is also another good, technically a perfect player, so he would be the ones who would be strengthening the Pakistan middle order to a great degree. Now, Sarfaraz Ahmed is one wicket keeper. Not only the wicket keeper, he has a sort of an aggressive streak in him. He really likes to take on the attack to the bowlers. He actually, even for the pace bowlers, he has the ability to actually leave his crease and have a hit at the pace bowlers. And at many times we have seen that Sarfaraz Ahmed has proved very effective. But now Sarfaraz Ahmed is also being talked about as a future skipper for Pakistan in not only in Test cricket. He's already become the T20 captain. There's also talk going on that Sarfaraz Ahmed might be the future captain for Pakistan, as far as what reports or what news one is really going through, as far as I know. So Sarfaraz Ahmed is one who's been touted to be probably the next captain of Pakistan after Misbah-ul Haq. So Sarfaraz Ahmed, yes, definitely he's a good player. He's experienced. If you look at the team, Azhar Ali probably one feels. I mean, this is what the information says, that Azhar Ali is probably looked at as a sort of a meek captain. I mean, he does not have the sort of a real, the aggro approach. He's a very cool captain, but one feels that probably Sarfaraz Ahmed could be the one who could be taking over. And then the bowling, as I said, Wahab Riaz and Mohammad Amir would be expected to really deliver, no doubt about it. So that is something that Wahab Riaz and Mohammad Amir has to do. So they would be the ones who would be hunting with the new ball. And Mohammad Amir, as you know, when he came to Australia last year, when he came to when he played against Australia in Australia, he was a teenager. Now Mohammad Amir, we know what many things have gone through, and one has to see how Mohammad Amir shapes up with his partner Wahab Riaz. And Wahab Riaz has already made a statement that he is going to be fully aggressive against the Aussies. Now, Wahab Riaz, one knows what a torrid time he gave to Shane Watson in the World Cup, as you would all remember. Shane Watson is retired. I'm sure Shane Watson would be quite relieved that he is not facing Wahab Riaz. I mean, he's not there in the Australian team. And Rahat Ali has also been improving. We have seen that he's also a much improved bowler. Rahat Ali is a left-arm pace bowler, and he really is really turning out to be a good wicket-taking bowler, as we saw in the West Indies. Yasir Shah is a right arm leg spinner. Now, Yasir Shah, as you know, he has been a sort of really a very big bowler. I mean, if you look at Yasir Shah, he was the one who took a lot of wickets to derail the Aussies in the United Arab Emirates, as we all remember. But definitely, Yasir Shah will realize one thing, that this is on the homeland of Australia, and also he'll be bowling on Australian pitches. But one advantage for Yasir Shah, to me, would be the bounce that he will be getting. As a leg spinner, you can be very effective in Australia for sure. And we have seen in the past that leg spinners have been effective in Australia just because of the bounce that you get on those pitches. So Yasir Shah, to me, would be also be someone to be really reckoned with. So, but I think all in all, we should have a good series. And also, Mickey Arthur, the coach, has already said that he feels that if Pakistan could put 300, 270, 280 or 300 on the board, they definitely have the wherewithal to go and actually fire out the Aussies twice. Now, that is something that one has to wait and watch. And the reason that Mickey Arthur has actually made that statement, it is based on the fact that there are a lot of left-handers in the Aussie team, and Pakistan have left-arm pace bowlers as well. So probably he has based it on that, but it will be interesting to see whether that really comes to fruition. As far as the pitch and conditions are concerned, Kevin Mitchell Jr. is the Gabba curator. They have actually been probably shaving a bit of grass, I'm told. They have a reasonable amount of grass on the wicket, which will help the pace bowlers for some lateral movements. But definitely the pitch will be hard, bouncy, and a pink ball, one has seen that it definitely swings, and especially at night it really swings. That's what one has seen in day-night test matches. So I think all in all, I think this particular test series between Australia and Pakistan, probably now while I'm talking to you, probably 1 more hour to go before things kick off at the Gabba in Brisbane. Probably not 1 hour, probably 1 hour and 20 minutes right now from my watch here. And as far as any cricket news is concerned, I'm trying to see whether there is anything that I could really talk about. Well, one thing I can say, this is for a match which happened between United Arab Emirates and Afghanistan, the first T20 which was played in Dubai. The victors were Afghanistan. I thought Afghanistan did well. They scored 161 and they defended it very well. They had Najibullah Zadran really smashing the United Arab Emirates bowlers with a good knock, and debutant Jannat impressed with his all-round performance. So definitely, so that is some news that I could really talk about. Other than that, there is nothing to really talk about, dear fans and subscribers. All eyes will be glued on the day-night test match with the pink ball. As I said, this is the very first time that Gabba cricket in Brisbane, Gabba cricket ground in Brisbane, as previously it was called the Wulan Gabba, and the day-night test match between Pakistan and Australia with the pink ball, and what a beauty of a test series this is going to be. Well, on this note, it's about time for me to say sayonara on this particular cricket show, and you will be seeing me tomorrow once again on my next Cricket Happening show, bringing you out the first day's play match summary on the first day-night test of the series between Pakistan and Australia at the Gabba in Brisbane. Till such time, it's good night.